Hi, how you doing, dear listener? Let's get stuck in to what I want to talk about. I have a lot on my mind. I've been on an incredible journey of self-discovery over the last 10 years. If you don't know me, my name is Luke. I'm an acting coach. I have a fledgling acting school. I'm a writer, a playwright, mostly, because it's easier to put plays on than it is to gather a €5 million budget for a feature film, of which I've done two. Not at that price. Many short films. I've worked with hundreds of actors at this stage. I love writing, I love creativity, I love psychology, particularly psychoanalysis. In therapy at the minute. I find that I teach 3 or 4 times a week, and I teach the Meisner technique, and I hold a lot of space for people. So I need my space held. That's why I still do therapy. If you're suffering and you're not going to therapy, you enjoy your suffering, is my harsh opinion. And I don't mean it to be harsh. I mean it, there's people there that are willing to help you. There's sliding scales, there's all kinds of supports available. If you are suffering, definitely just reach out and get some help. It's what it's meant for. Hopefully in 100 years, all this shit about the unconscious will be just such common knowledge for humanity. So I think that's where a lot of problems come from. People walk around in their fucking heads, suffering an inner critic that is extimate, that is exterior in origin and intimate right now at the minute, and not yours. Don't know what I want to talk about. I think I was listening to Blind Boy Boat Club's podcast on his mental health regime, and I had to pause every 5 seconds because I disagreed so fucking much. I really fucking did. I was like, surely there's an alternative to this shit going on in a chillaxed way. Brrr. So yeah, I've been full-time creative for 10 years, and I think it's coming where when AI takes over, everyone's going to be full-time creative. So how the fuck do you adjust to when AI takes your call center job, your job in the cinema, your job in the shops, fucking monitoring the electric grid, monitoring fucking everything? Might happen in the next couple of years where we're all going to be on universal basic income, which would be great. It's moving into some kind of neo-communism, even though we're in techno-feudalism at the minute. I don't know if it's good or bad, but I really don't care. I care about the individual, because in the microcosm is the macrocosm. That's all I've ever cared about, is the individual. So let's talk a little bit about my healing journey and how art really helped. And let's talk about the particular therapy I did, which is Lacanian psychoanalysis. So we have Freud, who wasn't the first to discover the unconscious, but really the first to kind of popularize it and get into it. The unconscious has always been around. It's when you say one thing but mean your mother. That's a Freudian slip. Freudian slip is also known as a parapraxis. So it's in these parapraxis that Freud would be like, oh, there's a desire here, there's something underneath it, and it escapes through language. And Jacques Lacan came along, went back into Freud in some kind of mad linguistic way. But he came out with some fucking zingers that the unconscious is structured like a language. And it's interesting that this AI shit is large language models. Language makes up a huge, huge part of us unconsciously. We're literally a walking story. But we're not, because we're more than the story, we're more than what's going on in here. Like, your beliefs about yourself, they're true. Someone's coming along now and I'm a little embarrassed, but that's the way it goes. I don't. So we have these stories about ourselves that are running like a running script in the background. But you're not going to stop words with words, I don't think. So let's say you're in your head, your mind turns against itself, which happened to me. It was scary as fuck, to be honest. And it got to the point where I was suffering extremely bad panic attacks. And the thing is, no one would know. It's all internal. Like this huge feeling that I couldn't put a name on. And I had like OCD, really bad OCD. Where trigger warning. Skip ahead 10 seconds. Anytime I saw a knife or a blade or a rope, I was like, well, now I gotta fucking. It's like a compulsion. And I'm laughing about it now because I'm so far removed from that from before, but fuck me, it was scary. So I just looked up, quick Google, first therapist. I lucked out. I won the therapy lottery. He was fucking brilliant. And he was a Lacanian. So, an example of that would be the word depression. What does depression mean? Can't say universally across the board exactly what it is because, and that's why I don't like society so much, because everyone's so fucking sure of it. Depression's going to mean something different to me and you, or every other individual. Well, how does it show up for you individually? That's why I care the most about the individual. So let's go with the words and the story I was living in, or about how it was interpreted. I could put many things here right now into words. It's going to put an image in your head. Like if I tried to describe the river there, it's like flowing, it sounds beautiful, it's relaxing. I'm still not describing the river. There's water flowing over a rock, there's suds, and there's white, I don't know what you call them, the white streams. It's actually not a river, it's a stream. There's some suds gathering it there, and there's a branch across it. It's no substitute for just showing it to you. I digress. Get used to my digressions, if you're listening, dear listener. So I used to live in Dublin, Frederick Street North, and I went to this analysis twice a week for 4 years. It was life-changing. It really was. Saved my life at the start, and then I really got to discover who I was. And a lot of counselling, my interpretation of it, or my opinion of it, which isn't true, it would be, counselling would be like, there, you're good, don't worry. But this was deep analysis where it's like, okay, cool. Here's the garden of your unconscious. Let's turn it over, shake the fuck out of it, and see what comes out. It's for the brave, it really is. It's really transformative, but you got to be really curious and stick to it. So I'm driving up and down from Waterford at this stage because I'd moved out from Dublin. I took a break from it and went back again. And I'm having breakfast across the road from where I used to live. Someone else was in my apartment. It was a lovely studio apartment, basically a room. It was awesome. It's where I decided to be a playwright. And I get there and I have a panic attack in the Love and Spoon across the way, and I just want to have a fucking breakfast and be left alone from these panic attacks, man. So I'm on the couch and interpreting. Free associating was fucking brilliant, by the way. That's a great skill for anybody who's writing or creative. And I say to him, like, man, I just felt like I had this huge panic attack. It was like, what did it feel like? I described it. And he's like, I don't know what I was expecting, like a warm welcome home. You know, because I used to live there. And he said, what you got was a warm welcome home. And he ended the session. And that's the beauty of Lacanian analysis. Some of these sessions were like 20 minutes, 40 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes. Just straight to the cut. Straight to what the fuck is going on. An interpretation, boom. So what I got was a warm welcome home. Basically, I got a flashback memory of what it was like growing up. Of how I constantly felt. What a beautiful interpretation. Not so beautiful childhood. Without disclosing too much, you can do a test right now of your adverse childhood experiences. Yeah. Pretty high score I got. And probably my parents too, and their parents before them, and their parents before them. The shit is like an intergenerational curse. sometimes. So at the time that I started doing this therapy, I came across I was acting. I was loving acting. I was studying Gaiety, did the part-time courses there, did the film academy, which no longer exists now. Oh. And then I came across Meisner in the Momentum School, and they used to do a show every 2 months. And there was this. Now at this time I could not remember the first 14 years of my life. I could not remember the first 14 years of my life because my brain went, "This is too much for one kid to handle." Whoop! Never happened. You just appeared. And that's what we'd all love to think, but if you have big gaps in your memory, that's a sign and an invitation to possibly go back to it, if you want it. And be like, why can't I remember? I'll tell you why, it's probably too fucking hard. Unbearable, literally unbearable, so you dissociated. So I'm learning acting, and it's really beautiful work. It's hardcore work. It's like emotional, it's presence, it's everything. It's like, holy shit, I've got this instrument that can actually do a lot. And you come face to face with it, all your fears, everything, but you're actually so safe. That's the beauty about it. So I'm watching this piece, Days of Wine and Roses, and an excerpt from it. Essentially, I'll do the same for you, and I couldn't believe this when I was watching it, because when I was watching it, I was transported to a flat in London. And I never knew the script before, and I was just watching this piece. Two fantastic actors, very high skill, which is most actors actually are. Like, there's many. Do you think it's just one Oscar winner a fucking year? The quality of actors that are not employed is astronomical. That's why in my acting school we actually feed it into theatre and film, because I just want to do this for the rest of my life. I love it. Anyway, so I'm watching this piece, and let's say the male in the scene is like, he's talking to this young kid who's upstairs, like, my sweet boy or something like that he says. And I totally believed that there was a kid upstairs, and that's the beauty of the illusion of really good acting. And I was in it. I was like, whoa, the kid's upstairs. There's not even a stairs behind there. I know what's behind there. It's this really thin fucking partition, and you squeezed in before the show. And I'm like, there's no kid. What the fuck? And I'm like, just in it. And then there's a knock on the door, and the woman is at the door, and she's like, so happy to see him, but she's drunk, and she wants to celebrate 1 week sober with a bottle of whiskey. And I was like, oh, my heart fucking sank. And then they were so real in their fighting, not physical, emotional, verbal barrage at each other. Boom, they let it rip. And I was like, but the kid upstairs, as I was watching it, and all the memories of my childhood came back, because it was thematically on the fucking nose. Boom, I had this catharsis, and I started fucking crying, like deep, compassionate tears for the kid I was. And I'm like this, and I look across, and my acting coach, wonderful, absolutely wonderful woman, sees me, and I could see that she had like pure empathy in her eyes for me, and I'm like, boo, boo. And completely, a huge catharsis. I was changed after that. So when I was studying acting and having those moments, and then I have catharsis in the analysis as well, some like really incredible interpretations. I was like, damn. At the time, like, my mind wanted certainty, absolute certainty. And I was Googling all this shit and all my symptoms and everything. Oh, I've got this, I've got that, I've got this. I want a diagnosis. You know, it's like I'm reading all these articles online. I'm on the couch, boom, I'm reading all these articles. Again, he says, the articles online, what people say, is irrelevant. Your only diagnosis is Luke. Ended the session there again, and I'm like, discombobulated. And it's like putting pressure on something interpreting what you say, and something new emerges. Incredible work, honestly. Phew. So now I teach acting based on the Meisner technique, inspired by repetition and inspired by Lacanian analysis. My first lesson is always the same. I'll give it to you now. Well, I can't, because I need you to talk to someone else in front of me. Anyway, so if I was to give you the complete works of William Shakespeare, like a book, and hand it to you in person, put it on your lap and be like, who creates the character? And as an actor, an aspiring actor, you're like, well, I do, because I'm acting it and I'm moving around and I'm telling the story. Another misinterpretation: actors aren't storytellers, they're story livers. Maybe even not story livers, moment livers. You have to live truthfully in imaginary circumstances. That's Meisner. Anyway, the writer, Shakespeare, would be like, fuck you. From beyond the grave, Shakespeare's like, fuck you. Oh, fuck it, you it. I created the character. And then a director could come along and say, yeah, well, I'm actually completely changing the casting of Romeo and Juliet, and I'm having a big influence on the character here. And then some people say, oh, it's a mix of all three. And then you can work on a film in an editing suite and be like, holy shit, the editor actually controls everything and can change how you interpret everything. Ultimately, the audience creates the character, and rarely has someone said that. And the reason I say it is because you stick a fucking white collar on me in a black shirt and stick me in a bar and put a camera on me, on the priest. Say someone walks in dressed as Dracula, now we're at a fancy dress. How I drink the drink would interpret whether I'm a priest with a drinking problem or the fancy dress, whatever. It's a costume has a thing to do with it. If you don't know me, if you've never met me, you've an idea of me so far from what I've said. Even better if you're listening to this and not watching it. Audience creates the character. Book is a perfect example of this. I guarantee you, everybody who read Game of Thrones had a different idea of Tyrion, what he looks like. Everybody had a different interpretation of what he looks like before the series came out, and then afterwards, oh, maybe Peter Dinklage is in your fucking head when you're reading the books again. One book, 100 people, it's 100 different books. So yeah, the audience creates the character. And the reason I have that as the first lesson is because it takes the pressure off. You don't have to perform, you just have to live truthfully. And this is where what I teach is really beneficial in the arts and health space. I work with Asherie, with people in recovery that are a good bit into their recovery journey, I guess. And I do a really soft version of the Meisner, which involves a lot of eye contact and just calling out what's happening. And what I love about the technique is it doesn't work from memory. It works from the present moment, an as-if scenario, and your imagination of what's possible. Which leads me to my final point before I wrap this up. Or maybe not. So I found it amazing not working for memory. Memory was for my analysis, was for therapy. Imagination and the present moment was for acting. And I loved it. And you have, so many people have no fucking idea what they're capable of, emotions wise. Think about it, every fucking character you watch is going through, on TV, series, theatre, whatever, it's conflict. It's the worst possible time of their lives. Hopefully for you, you'll only encounter those kind of crises a couple of times in your life, where you're talking like deep grief and stuff like that. So when something like that is lived truthfully in a piece, like what I saw, there's an opportunity for a catharsis in the audience. I've had many people come up to me after plays and went like, whoa, shit, that was like that was me and my boyfriend, or that was me and my brother, and I've wanted to watch the play again because it got to a deep core truth, and it was played truthfully. So, really believable and truthful. So I'd rather not use my memory to get to that truthful performance. I can't anyway, because it would be painful. Yeah, so when you learn this technique, or if you wanted to go down that route, or get stuck into it, you can get fucking super angry like you're defending a newborn kid. You can get super happy like you just won the lottery and all your problems are fucking gone. Not that it would solve your problems. And then like deeply, deeply sad, like you just lost the thing that's most important to your soul. And then be fine afterwards and go for lunch. And then do it again for take 2 after lunch. It's an incredible skill, but we all have it in us. So what I've been doing lately is, I'd say my panic attacks are gone, but sometimes I would get an overwhelming sense of dread. Big emotions, and I do something with them, or make a story about them, or use it as anger to fuel me to do a fucking project within 4 weeks, and just hyper focus on that. I'm gonna bury myself in the work, and that's the key. I don't want to bury myself anymore. I want to be involved in life. What I've been doing lately is feeling my feelings without a story, without a narrative, without judgment. How do you do that, Luke? Be fucking quiet in your inner critic, man. And just feel the feeling. Go, oh, what's the feeling? You're welcome. These feelings will... Freud said it. Unexpressed emotions never die. They are buried alive and will come forth later in uglier ways. He didn't just see that in a fucking toilet in Tully's in Waterford and go, damn, that's good. It's fucking true. Unexpressed emotions are buried alive. If you don't express them, they're buried alive. It's like PTSD. It's a perfect example of complex PTSD. So, yeah, you know, all this fucking yoga and shit, it's like mind, body, spirit. So your mind, your physical body, and your spirit. Where's the emotional body? Where's the talk of emotional health? Which is going to be, with AI coming, and it's all like mental and story, no heart, literally no heart. Emotional health is going to be so fucking important. And this kind of work, feeling your feelings without judging them, without shame. Shame is an emotion. Feel it fully if it's there. I guarantee you, if you were to, don't start this work unless you're willing to follow it through. Because as soon as you start it, all the different parts will come up. So these emotions that are coming up, and then you put a story on it, because that was my OCD. This emotion's so fucking big, and this guilt and this shame is so big, blah, 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 that I must have done something wrong. So every week I'd have a different panic or worry, because I'd believe the story. You're fucking crazy. No offense to anybody. I'm just saying I'm crazy for that, like, but no, it's not really crazy, it's totally human. But it's the mind, the story. And if you start like trying to fight it and getting in here, like, it just never ends. Feeling the feelings, get into your heart. I don't know how else to explain it. Just feel the fucking feelings without putting a story on it. Sit with it. That's what I've been doing. I was like, alright, what emotion is here at the minute? You are welcome. Boom. It's like this unloved part of myself was like, finally welcome. Let's say it was fear. I felt a lot of fear as a kid, a lot of fear. So I was like, alright, I'm going to try this out. It was Joe Hudson that got me onto it. His stuff is really good on YouTube, Art of Accomplishment. Really fucking good. I have a feeling he's Meisner trained, or his wife is Meisner trained or something, because it's definitely some Meisner shit going on there. So I was like, right, I had to do some work on my inner critic first in order to feel the feelings without the story. And what was really helpful was saying, ouch. When I started talking shit to myself, I go, ow. And I was like, whoa, I don't want to hurt myself. That was a really good separation. Yeah, it was really difficult, but this is the thing as well, when it comes to learning, even on the inner journey, even let's say learning a martial art, you can know things intellectually, but you don't really understand them until you get it fully in your body. So you might know that it's not your fault, your childhood wasn't your fault. It's gonna mean fuck all until you feel it fully in your body that it really wasn't your fault, when you didn't deserve what happened to you. No kid should have gone through that. And when you really feel in your body of that being true, that's like a marker. When you feel in your body, you'll never go back to the way you were. You'll never go back to the way you were. If you intellectualize it, you're not even there yet. So you need to get rid of your inner critic. It's imperative. It's so important. Many ways to do it, but one that really worked for me was ouch. I didn't want to hurt myself. The other one was, let's say, I can feel him going like, fuck you, that's not true, in my head. Like, fuck you, you're done, you're fired. You've been fired a long time. It's like, if you're listening to the inner critic in your head, if I was, let's say my inner critic, I may as well have been, put me in the most downtrodden place in Ireland, outside the pound shop, just really, really cheap and like bad and dangerous area, let's say, and there's a homeless person there and he's clearly suffering schizophrenia, let's say. No, it's not called that anymore. Dissociative identity disorder. I may as well have been standing there taking notes and being like, you're so fucking right. You are so fucking right. That's how I should live my life. Oh yeah, I am a piece of shit. Oh man, that's what the inner critic is like. And you giving it, it's not the inner critic is the problem, you believing it is the problem. Because it ain't true. You're not the worst person in the world. You're not the best either. You're just you. There's no one youer than you. And you're literally an integral part of the universe, for God's sake. The universe needs you to be the universe. So get that inner critic down. Because let's say you feel nervous and you just for no reason you feel really anxious. Oh no, maybe I've left the kettle boiling, or oh, I forgot to turn the stove off. The immersion. The fucking immersion's on. Panic stations. And you get home and it's not. So that was your mind trying to make sense of the emotion. Because it didn't want you to go back to the past. So feeling the feeling, just feeling the feeling. This is my process. This is what I started doing. I was lying down, I was house sitting for my friends. I was dog and kitten sitting. No, I was kitten sitting. Little Gibby, beautiful little cat. So I lie down on the couch and I'm like, alright, whatever emotion's here, it's welcome. Boom, fear, fuck, okay. Feel the fear. My jaw starts going, shaking. My breathing is like up and down, and I'm breathing my belly, and I really try and like just accept the feeling completely. My mind would try and go somewhere. I'm like, no, you've had your 30 odd years. It's time for me to listen to the body. It's time for me to listen to my emotions. Boom. So the fear is there, and it's difficult, and it was painful. And then I did something. I maybe don't recommend this, but I like to do things in extremes. I invited it to annihilate me. I was like, annihilate me then. And I tried its best. And I think the process went on for like 8 to 10 minutes. And it reached its peak. It started to go down. I was like, okay, this is the integral part. You have to do this. It's not just feeling the feeling. So I realized I wasn't annihilated. I'm like, okay, you have to love it. You have to love it in the way that you would have wanted your parents to love you when you were experiencing that when you were younger. Love it in that perfect way. That's what you're looking for. That's what we're all looking for most of our lives, is to be loved in that perfect way that we never got. It's a wild assumption, but I think it's true. If it resonates with you, I think you'll get it. You have to love that feeling. Now, I mean, like, okay, you know, ooh, yeah, I feel what you're feeling. I understand. It's really bad, isn't it? Yeah, you're scared. It's okay. It's all right. I'm here. I got you. It's all right. And even without words, just send a big wave of love to it. I'm sure there's Buddhist meditations about this, loving kindness or whatever. God, it starts here. So I had my eyes closed during all this. I gave it the love, and I was like, "Ooh, fuck!" I knew that was one of those I feel it in my body moments where I can never go back to where I was before, which is beautiful. And that's kind of like the fastest way to learn. Or it's when I'm teaching, I see people just get things, and I'm like, "Yeah, there you go. I don't have to explain this again. You get it." But it takes a while. And some people go faster through that process, and some people go slower, or they're not all the same. It's a beautiful thing to watch people learn through realizations like that are felt in the body, beyond words, beyond understanding. So I gave that feeling all the love, and knew I was never going back. Opened my eyes, and there's Gibby just looking at me like, "What the fuck was that?" I was like, "I know, Gibby," and she's like, these eyes, and it was like this really beautiful moment of just consciousness observing each other. It's the only way I can describe it. And Gibby gave me those slow blinks, like, and I was like, "Oh, give me the slow blinks back, kitty. I love you too." And it was just, yeah, she was looking at me as if to say, "Yeah, you're here." And this has really put any kind of healing of mine on fucking hyperdrive. It's a really beautiful thing. I recommend you try it if you have the support in place, and if you're willing to love everything else that comes up after that. Because again, unloved parts of yourself, the rest is going to come up. I went through fear, sadness, guilt, shame. Shame's a fucking huge one. I'm seeing shame a lot everywhere after dealing with shame. It's a fucking big one. Especially if you have a high A score, man. Yeah, they'll all come up, and it might take a while. A couple of months maybe. I've been doing it for a couple of months. But what I'm finding is I'm definitely calmer in my everyday. It has opened up a big, huge space for me though, where I'm like, oh, what do I actually want to do with my life? Because a lot of my life would be avoiding feeling the feelings I don't want to feel. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it, but you know, wherever you are on your healing journey or your creative journey, it's where you're meant to be right now. Everything's cool. If you want to work with me, I teach every Tuesday and Friday acting, the Miser technique. It's brilliant because it's just all about the work. This stuff I talked about on the podcast, maybe there's some overlap. But it's not like, this is different stuff. This is my own insights that you might find useful. Because I'm still learning as I go. I'm learning how to be a better coach. I'm learning how to be better at the arts and health stuff. I write every week. I write plays. I do fucking 6 a year at least. And it's amazing. And it's what I want to do in my life. Or is it? Maybe. If Fatten comes up for you in this and you found it useful, I'd love to know. I'd love to know what you found useful, or if you have any questions or would like me to talk about different things. I'm happy to. I think it's about time I started being creative in this way. I got a lot to offer, man, and I'm only offering it to humanity. It's literally a gift from humanity to humanity. I hope you're good to yourself today. Do something nice for yourself. Try and enjoy any moment you're in, even if it's stressful. Try and enjoy it a little bit. No, that's not good advice. That's an imposition. Give yourself some love, you know. Love yourself. Not in the in a story way, but from the heart. Just give it to yourself. You feel it for other people. You deserve it. You're as deserving. And you're worthwhile. Don't know what else to say. It's all love. Take care.